What is AAA security? Authentication, authorization, and accounting. In this video, we'll cover the authentication, authorization, and accounting, AAA framework for cybersecurity, the meaning of each AAA component, and the benefits of using it for granular access control. You'll learn about different AAA protocols and how they relate to identity and access management, IAM. By the end of this video, you'll fully understand AAA networking and how the model assists with network security and monitoring. What is authentication, authorization, and accounting, AAA? Authentication, authorization, and accounting, AAA, is a three-process framework used to manage user access, enforce user policies and privileges, and measure the consumption of network resources. The AAA system works in three chronological and dependent steps, where one must take place before the next can begin. These AAA protocols are typically run on a server that performs all three functions automatically. This enables IT management teams to easily maintain network security and ensure that users have the resource access they need to perform their jobs. Authentication. Authentication is the process of identifying a user and granting them access to the network. Most of the time, this is done through traditional username and password credentials. However, users could also use passwordless authentication methods, including biometrics like eye scans or fingerprints, and hardware such as hardware tokens or smart cards. The server evaluates the credential data submitted by the user compared to the one stored in the network's database. Active Directory is used as the database for many enterprises to store and analyze those credentials. Authorization. After authentication, the authorization process enforces the network policies, granular access control, and user privileges. The cybersecurity AAA protocol determines which specific network resources the user has permission to access, such as a particular application, database, or online service. It also establishes the tasks and activities that users can perform within those authorized resources. For example, after the system grants access to the network, a user who works in sales may only be able to use the customer relationship management (CRM) software and not the human resources or enterprise resource planning systems. Additionally, within the CRM, they might only be allowed to view and edit data and not manage other users. It's the authorization process that would enforce all of these network rules. Accounting. Accounting, the final process in the framework, is all about measuring what's happening within the network. As part of the protocol, it will collect and log data on user sessions, such as length of time, type of session, and resource usage. The value here is that it offers a clear audit trail for compliance and business purposes. Accounting helps in both security and operational evaluations. For instance, network administrators can look at user access privileges to specific resources to see about any changes. They could also adjust capacity based on the resources most frequently used in common activity trends. The AAA framework. The AAA security model applies to numerous use cases, such as accessing a private corporate network remotely, using a wireless hotspot for the internet, and enforcing network segmentation for zero-trust network access. ZTNA. For security purposes, security teams can prevent unauthorized access by having control and visibility over network and resource access, privileges, and user activity. The framework uses a client/server model to deploy and run the protocol. The client, the device seeking access, is first stopped by an enforcement point requiring authentication credentials. Next, the user submits the credentials such as a username, password, piece of hardware, or biometric. The device could also present its digital certificates through public key infrastructure, PKI, procedures. Upon submission, the AAA server reviews the credential data with information stored in the database and determines if it's a match. Once authenticated, the user has the right to perform certain actions and access specific data or resources per what's configured automatically or by a network administrator. During the user's session, all operations and activities get recorded.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel.